What is up, everybody, and welcome to yet another live stream. My name's Lewis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie. If it's your first time here, please make sure to introduce yourself in the comments section so that you can get the warm Camera Junkie welcome. And this is episode number 90, consecutive weeks of the Camera Junkie live stream, and I thank you for taking the time and spending it here with me. And with that being said, let's go right ahead and see who's here in chat. I'm super excited to check it out. Right off the bat, we have the one and only, the Paul Duncan, Mr. Moderator. Hello, sir. Thank you for stopping by. We also have Randall hanging out. Sammy Superstar saying hi to everyone. How you doing, Sammy? Thanks for stopping by. We all missed you at this year's People of Video conference. I was so surprised how many people were asking for you, especially that we knew you were just a little train right away. But I hope you're doing well. But just know that you were missed at POV 2022. All right, Randall getting his hot tea ready. Actually, you know what? That's a good question. Let me know what you're drinking, if you're drinking anything. Today I'm on a little bit of a monster kick, so that's something that I just grabbed because this live setup was literally put together with like hairpins and crazy glue at the last moment. It's not, the camera's not even on a tripod. It's on two articulating arms, just like holding each other up against my case. I will take photos of it just to document it and maybe show you guys another time, but it is hilarious. But it's working. You know, we got some lights going on, borrowing some equipment, some microphones, and getting everything to work because a couple of my cables failed on me. But Nonetheless, nothing to talk about because, as you can see, we are live from Plum Island, Massachusetts, which is just like, I really am still like in shock of the last week's events. People of Video 2022 was absolutely amazing, but we will get into that in a little bit. Let me see who's here. Yeah, we have Mr. Richard Sarkeesian saying hello to the fam. Sir, you're part of tonight's conversation because it was super cool to meet you. I can't thank you enough for being, part of that event and just being part of the Camera Junkie crew. It means so much. All right. So Sammy says, where am I? And yes, I am in Plum Island, Massachusetts, near Amesbury, just right within the vicinity of the Ecamm headquarters. So for some of you that were actually in Doc Rock's live stream earlier today or even yesterday, for the Ecamm, you might have known that me and Aiden are over here in the Ecamm HQ. Been doing, we're actually getting ready for this week's coming up Leap into Podcasting. That event is absolutely free. And Paul, if you can, because I know you got those links, if you can drop into the chat, I would highly appreciate it, because it's absolutely free. All you have to do is sign up, register, and show up. And there's going to be so many live speakers there to actually do this event. It will be happening next week. I am part of the onboarding process to make sure that everything runs smoothly for the participants in it. And I highly recommend that if you're looking into Ecamm or looking into podcasting, we advise you to look into video first as the mentality when it comes to podcasting, because if it's something similar to what we're doing right now with the power of Ecamm that is doing this live stream, it does remote productions, it does all of my productions, and I have my to-go box here that does everything from wherever I'm at in the world. And some of the fam of the LGL that were able to go to People of Video were able to see part of my kit, and I've been trying my best to put together the video compilation of the project that I made, but right now I'm still in the midst of it and I'm still in the mix. But it's been amazing. Massachusetts is such a cool small town vibe, and it's really hard to put into words. I was talking with Katie and with Doc Rock about how the architecture is so like jarring almost, because you can see how there's like the mantles over the doors are just almost like exactly where the roof line is. It is just a completely type of building, and it's evident in everything from the roads to the buildings and the advertisements. Like, there are established businesses that have been there and about to be 100 years in business in the same location, which is so cool. There's a Ben's uniform shop just like to the right of the Ecamm headquarters, which has been there since 1925. And assuming that we're in 2022, we're just 3 years old. Year business established right there in Amesbury, Massachusetts, where the Ecamm headquarters is at. And even more impressively is what Ken and Glenn have been able to do with a coding school right on the same premises. So we get to see the production side of the Ecamm studio, but there's so much more going on in the works that Ken and Glenn are producing, that it's really something to be admired. And I'm just so lucky to be part of this company, and I can't emphasize it enough. It's all because of you guys as well. This entire journey has been so full, and I could have never in my wildest dreams thought that any of this would have even happened just a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Wouldn't even have been anything at all. So I'm humbled. I am so grateful. Uh, I'm getting worked up here because so much has happened and so much more is still on the way. Once we're done with the leap into podcasting, which I'm so excited for, we're going to be doing a photo shoot and a video op right here. And that's just such another amazing opportunity that, once again, I would tell you, like a year ago, I would have never thought, I couldn't even have dreamt something like this up. So I am so grateful once again, and just I thank you all for joining me on this journey. For every single one of you who has subscribed, who has sent me a message on any, or have connected with me through my Discord. You are the, like, you guys are amazing, and this community is so amazing, and I can't thank you enough once again for taking the time and spending it here on the Camera Junkie live stream, and creating the community that is like why. Wow, it's just kind of hard to put into words, but it's all encompassing. It's all everything put together, and I just have to say thank you because I am so grateful. But let's go back to the chat here. Okay, we got K-Wall. How you doing, Kathy? Kathy was someone else that I was able to meet for the first time last year, but like I said, this year was a completely different vibe. When it came to how I was able to participate in the People of Video, because so much happened. I was able to meet so many people that I wanted to meet, like Owen Video, Emily D. Baker, just so many people. I'm just getting all caught up. Roberto Blake, and there's so many things that have happened, but just it is just a whirlwind of awesomeness. The worst part of the entire event was when it was over, when I had to say bye to Kathy and to Michelle and to Aubrey and to so many people that were able to make it. And even on the last night, we had a axe throwing event at a local, at a local establishment there in Albany, and Vincent Boone was able to go and show up. I thought he was in Hawaii, but it turns out that he lives in New Jersey, and he was able to make it there. And it was such an awesome surprise that even just every night, the events and the people just kept getting elevated. So it just something that just got better the longer that it just proceeded. So it was absolutely awesome. Just a really, really cool event. And once again, I have to thank everyone that was able to make it, because it was super dope. All right. So Kathy's saying hello to me and to all the camera junkies here. Says a staircase and a mysterious man in the background. Yeah, that's actually Doc Rock, if you can see him right there. He's just hanging out. He's DJing on his iPad, chilling, and he demonstrated a little while ago his DJ skills, and he was able to create a mix off of his iPad, just off of sound, because he was actually playing the original audio on his iPhone that had no connection to it, but he was able to mix it as if they were one, and it was something that. It goes to show you the man knows what he's doing. Another thing about Doc Rock was that really surprised me was his choice of music and how in tune it was with my own. And it's something that can't be put into words, because it's just he's been hit. And I'm like, how in the world, out of all songs, could you have picked that song, which is... It's almost like a cult song that either you know about it or you don't. And it just goes to, I just had to tell Doc, I was like, there's no universe there would be no universe that me and Doc weren't supposed to hang out in one way or another, from the point where he ended up on one island in Hawaii and I come from the other in Puerto Rico, and somehow, these worlds collided. So I gotta give a shout out to my man over there, Doc Rock, my brother from another mother. And this dude is just awesome. And I've had so much fun with this. Let's just say that. Me, Aiden, and Doc Rock, man, we've just been having so much fun. I think my smile is evident of what's been going on in just this past week. So many friendships that were able to be established and, like really fortified is just something that's like a once in a lifetime experience. And I can't wait for the next chapter and the next thing to roll out because I'm absolutely enamored and in love with the journey. I am just in love with the things that are on the way, like to come in the horizon, and I don't see any stop at all. I have my son as motivation, and I have an amazing mentor in Doc Rock to keep me level-headed and keep me thinking in a better way for my own outcome. And like that's why I say I don't see anything stopping me, and I'm just excited for the future, which is something that, like I mentioned before, 3-4 years ago was not something that I would have ever thought that I would have ever said, that I'm excited for the future. And it's such a game changer that that's exactly what I am, excited for the future. All right. We got Tony in the house saying, Dímelo. How are you doing, sir? All right. Everybody's saying hi to everyone. So Sammy goes, we will be back next year. Well, actually, next year, that's just a little information. There is some information out there where you can get some, tickets ahead of time. But 2023, I don't believe there's going to be a People of Video. If there is, it's going to be virtual. And the next meetup People of Video is actually going to be in May of 2024, I believe. Yes. So 2024 in May is going to be the next meetup because they're doing the shifts of months for this event so that it doesn't really clash with the other events that are going on in the other parts of the country. So for that reason, you want to have kind of like your own little space to be able to bring the speakers so that it doesn't clash with the schedules of other events. So for that, I believe it's the reason that it's being moved to May. And because of it, they're not just going to like skip it and just kind of fast forward it. They're going to need some time to set things up. So it's not going to happen in 2023, which would be less than a year, from now. It's actually going to happen in 24. But that's something also to look forward to. May 2024 is going to be the next People of Video event. And of course, I'm going to do everything. I'm going to be there. It's just, there's no way I'm going to miss it. I'm already like this is one of my main events, and it's just the type of atmosphere that gets fostered there. It's like none other. And for example, when Doc Rock did his like last speech of the event, he was the last speaker. Half of the LGL crew that was there broke out into song to sing his theme song like on the live, that's where we really emphasize once again about Ecamm, and that the main feature of Ecamm is the community. And just like the Camera Junkie crew and the LGL and the Ecamm fam, it's all such a tight-knit community that like that's exactly what happened. Like they all busted out into song. I was taking photos in the back and I just had to crack up. I just started joining along because it's it's exactly what we foster, that family vibe. And everyone who was there knows exactly what I'm talking about, knows exactly the sentiment, because it was such an electric atmosphere that we had this past week. And right now it's rolling over into all of this excitement of me being at Ecamm. I haven't met Glenn yet, but I did get to meet Ken, and Ken got to meet Aiden, which is like so big for me. Like I said, like these are just milestones that I'm just checking off on my list, that things that I would have never thought, and yet now I'm here. And It's so dope, man. It's so dope. And that's not even to say like this Airbnb, because if you check it out, this place is amazing. It is so beautiful. And like I mentioned before, we're here on Plum Island, which is right on the water. Like the water is right across there. But the bad part is that it's been cold as hell for like the last couple of nights. Like we had to go and well, actually Duck had to go and buy a jacket just because of how cold it is and how hard the wind is coming right off of the water. But it is literally just across the street. This location is so beautiful. Aiden right now is sleeping upstairs, just chilling, and I'm able to do in this entire live stream over here downstairs. If you can see over my head here, this is like the kitchen. Upstairs, that's where Aiden's at. Doc Rock chilling in the background, and I'm hosting a live stream. Like, the place is beautiful. It's awesome. The people here are also so friendly. Like just having amazing conversations from everywhere we go, from Home Depot to just the local restaurants. Like, and the food, man, the food is so cool. Like, and it's so good but what I meant to say was so cool was that there's really good food, just like within any direction, like within 20 feet, and even actually just downstairs of Ecamm headquarters, like just downstairs of their office, man. Like they have this rotisserie chicken joint that's got good food right there. And then we just had dinner at a place just across the street, and we just hung a left. We ate lunch at a place where you just hang a right, and it's all right there. And it's like probably the one of the best foods around, that most people would go and drive around 20-30 minutes to get to these restaurants, and they're literally just at the bottom of the stairs of Ecamm HQ. So we don't even like don't get into the vehicles. We just go downstairs and we pick a joint and we go there, and it's just been amazing. And then we hop in the car and head over here to this Airbnb to continue to do work and get things ready. I'm helping Doc Rock with a project, and that's even before we get into the whole, leap into podcasting, which I'm gonna be helping out a lot. I've been at the Ecamm HQ, and I'm just can't wait to get excited because I'm doing some organization there just to help out, and it's what I have fun with, right? So I'm over here having a blast, just cleaning up and helping set up the Ecamm headquarters. And I'm gonna get in there with some of this stuff right here. Get in there with some gaff tape and put some elbow grease into work and just start putting all the cables down so that we could really organize the joint as a studio. We Ken and Glenn, I believe, put up some papers for some photo shoots that we're also going to be doing some thumbnails. Another cool thing that happened is just the local events here in Amesbury and Newburyport, just around where we're staying, that they're already like celebrating Oktoberfest. So it's already like started. So it's so big over here that they kind of start early, and they're not waiting for the 1st of October. We're in it. So there's a lot of events that are already popping off, and one of them was a car show today that was running from 10 to 2 in the afternoon, and they closed down like basically Main Street, and they had hundreds and hundreds of just amazingly historic and classic cars. Like, they have cars before they were actual motorized cars. So this area of Maryland is very well known for carriages, the horse carriages that were very popular before vehicles, and some of the vehicles that just were designed right after that were all from kind of this area. So it is like super interesting to see all of the like antiques. Like we're not talking vintage, we're talking antique, like machinery and cars that were available. So with that, we took the initiative, and Doc Rock and I like got our cameras, and while we were on our way to the office, we hung out and started taking a lot of photographs. I took quite a few. It's just so like well maintained vehicles. It was a legit real car show. We saw a one piston engine that literally like worked off of one drop of fuel every like 15 to 20 seconds. It was just really, really cool. All the cool things that are available there, that were available to be photographed there at the car show. So it was just, it's so cool. I can't tell you, so many different types of cars. One of them was like the GOAT GTO, I think it was 1978. Looks beautiful. It had this, factory gold flake paint job, completely restored, and just, it had white interior. I took photos of all that. Like I was just having a blast, and Aiden was sleeping through most of it, and then he came around, and he was just very he's just so well behaved, and he's been having so much fun because this trip, comparative to last year's, I was able to put a lot more planning into it, and because of it, he's having a vacation just the same way. So he's just this whole experience has just been second to none, and I'm just blown away. I'm just freaking blown away. Okay, let's check the chat once again, because there's so many things that happened, and that's what I was telling you. This whole car show thing, that was just today. So, and you know what? Now that we're talking about that, if you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit that like button. Punch it right there in the face. It goes a long, long way. It's highly appreciated. All right. All right. Gretchen is here saying, "Hi, Lewis. I got to meet Gretchen Shepard. She is absolutely amazing. She is Aiden's adopted grandmother. After this trip, she took such like a caring to Aiden. She had an amazing solo dance. Aiden was really taken to her because she's so amazing with children. Being an experienced mother, grandmother, librarian, school teacher, she is all that and a bag of chips, so to speak, how we say. She was absolutely all amazing, and Aiden is like, I can't say, like, it's so few who are able to get like that with Aiden, and he is lucky to have you as his adopted grandmother. So thank you so very much. And she is so sweet that she gifted Aiden her book, her bear book, and I can't wait to read it for him and to him. It was such a beautiful gift, and I thank you for stopping by, and it was like absolutely my pleasure to meet you and have you as part of my story and my journey. So thank you. Okay, so Sammy says it looks amazing. This place is amazing, Sammy. It's really cool. I just finished off some Ben and Jerry Cherry Garcia. That's nice. Talking about that, I have some Ben and Jerry's in the fridge, and I haven't got to it. So thanks for the reminder. Thanks, Kathy. Yep, Paul said it right. Gangster grandma, gangster granny in the house. That is Miss Shepherd. And she's saying, yes, Plum Island. Yes, an Air B&B here in Plum Island. I'm just like blown away. It is so beautiful. I can't wait to see more of this area. I'm trying to like map it, just even the area here within like Main Street, and trying to learn, because I've been driving around everywhere. It's so much fun. This has been a once in a lifetime experience for me, and I just can't wait to see what else is coming in the future. This is just so dope. Sammy says, LOL, next year I will bring an XLR cable for you. Sammy, just to show you, bro. Oh. Take a look. This is the yellow cable that you gave me last year, and this is my mobile setup cable. This is what I take with me everywhere I go. So I'm always, grateful for this because I want to put it to good use. So it's part of my mobile kit. And just to show you, you don't have to bring me another cable. I'm still using this one. It works fine, but I am putting it to good use because it's part of my mobile kit. Sammy, just like I told Gretchen, you will always be part of my journey because on top of this, I'm using this, but I still also have the pod mic that you gifted me as well right in my bag because that included with this cable is part of my main setup. Just so that you know. All right, Scott Rogers is in the house. Thank you for Paul for putting this up here, saying leap into podcasting. And like I said, yes, this is absolutely free. So if you haven't signed up, please do so. It's coming up this week. And if you will be learning so much about so many things, whether you're thinking about podcasting or you've never thought about it at all, whether you're using Ecamm for a variety of different reasons. There's a lot of things that you can learn with this event that you could apply even if you're not podcasting. But if you're not, I really think that you should look into it because I'm really saying that to myself. I'm putting my things together and I need to get my behind creating my own podcast as well. I've been working on the live stream, and this once again is week number 95, so thank you all. 95 consecutive weeks. It's just another thing that I'm just so proud of. But yes, that I need to start doing my own podcast as well. This is something that's coming in the future, but right now I'm trying to focus at one thing out of a time and not trying to put just a little bit of effort into all these things to try to kind of half-ass them. I need to whole-ass a couple of things, and once they're completed, then I'm able to move into another effort and whole-ass into that as well. So, Kevin is in the house. How you doing, bro? Thanks for stopping by. Dude, it was so cool hanging out with you, man. I just cannot emphasize that enough. And Kevin says that everyone remember to hit that like button. Like I said, if you haven't, please do so. It goes a long way. Says no one can guess what I'm doing for Leap. I wonder. You're doing a photo shoot for Ecamm. Yeah, a photo and video shoot. It's basically we're going to be making our own B-roll content. So, we're putting everything together. So instead of having to use stock footage for videos that are trying to represent what Ecamm and what Ecamm does, we're putting together this event, this photo video shoot to actually record and photograph all the different aspects of what Ecamm does and emphasize in that so that we can use it for ourselves, and I believe for the affiliates who are looking to have packages to be able to include footage like that to represent Ecamm in the best light. So instead of having to go to Video Hive, I think it's called, or Envato Elements to look for B-roll footage of saying someone on a computer and then try to find a clip that kind of represents the Ecamm and what it can do. It's actually taking the initiative to make the B-roll and the photographs to best show what this program is all about. And that's kind of this program does a lot, so there's a lot to take in when it comes to showing the power of Ecamm, because this is an extremely powerful program that is used for podcasting, remote production, live streaming, pre-recorded content, podcasts, meetings, so many different things that this it's just about limitless, because with the power of virtual camera and virtual microphone, you're also able to take this and use it into your Zoom meetings, into Discord, into a variety of different applications where you're going to be asked to connect via, the audio and video. So when you know that that's something that you're going to be asked to do in a variety of different, scenarios, using Ecamm to best represent you is what I recommend. I use it for everything. Links are down in the description, and if you use the code MCJ at checkout, you get your first 30 days free. So I highly recommend it. But heads up, if you end up installing it, you're 30 days for free, you're gonna know the power of Ecamm and how good it is that you won't turn back. Doc Rock had a good analogy the other day. It was like, you and me. Oh, I heard it today, actually, not the other day. He said, you, me playing golf is like, OBS. Ecamm is Tiger Woods. So that's a good way of putting it. And I kind of like that analogy. So, hey, tech for your needs. Nano is in the house. How you doing, bro? Thank you for stopping by to the Camera Junkie live stream. Says, I have to agree with you, Lewis. The past year has been life-changing for both of you. It's been incredible journey. Well, yeah. You meant us, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, for both of us, because I was about to say, like, so much has changed for you as well. You're Mr. Moderator. And for those of you who don't know, or might be looking for help with your own live streams, or pre-recorded content for YouTube, I would tell you to check out Mr. Moderator, and please put in your links for your block words list, Paul, so that anyone who's looking for it can find it there. The block words list, I highly recommend. It not only helps your live stream, but just comments on your pre-recorded content, so that there's an entire list of words and abbreviations and phonetic spellings that will absolutely help you in your channel from blocking a lot of the spam and a lot of those things that people are dealing with, and also a lot of those what are they called, the Telegram scams that are going on right now, they're saying like, hey, you won a prize, but you need to send me $25 for shipping, which is an absolute scam. And unfortunately, there's some people who don't know the difference. So
Paul, I wonder, black.
Come on, Doc. This is Doc is making me crash my stream over here. But anyways, I highly recommend you check out Paul Duncan's block word list. Highly recommend it. I use it on my channel, on my streams, even though he's just such an amazing moderator that he's top notch, knocking everything out live. And right now I have a bit of a jank setup here, but I also have Mr. Paul Duncan and my moderators right here on my Discord, so that I'm always aware of everything that's going on in case anything does need to change. Maybe I mute myself accidentally, anything like that, they can let me know with an alert right here in real time. That's part of the awesomeness of having Mr. Paul Duncan as your moderator. So I highly recommend you look into it. It's highly advised, especially when you're thinking about doing live streams or live events. Go check him out. Sammy says, just thought of something, didn't tell you to try out Ecamm, then you love it, just remember that. Absolutely. Tom BC, how are you doing, sir? Thank you for stopping by, saying hello. Says, no monitors were in the throwing of axes. I wasn't there. No, everybody was fine there, sir. Everything was really cool. I actually have a photo of a bullseye that I landed in it. It was just, I thought I would be better with the two-handed axes myself, but I just wasn't. And then when I just went one-handed axe, I was able to hone it in until, I got a nice swing into it, and I kept getting like very close within like 6 shots, and then I nailed the bullseye, took a picture, and just kept at it because one-handed axe throwing is more my game there. All right. Says, wait, someone else came from New Jersey? Yeah, there was quite a few people from New Jersey. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Vincent Moon. He's the one who does the stress-free, carefree. Check out his channel. Yeah, he was there. It was super cool to meet him, man. This is all part of the Ecamm fam, man. It was just like, I said, it's almost like speechless of like how many things, how many people I got to meet. Laura from Shore, right? That's Lauren right now. But just so many cool people that it's just the entire thing. It's really hard to put into words in a nutshell because I would have to like break them down by days of like, oh, this happened on this day and then that happened. It's just, what? Laura Davidson. So, yes, it's just I actually know her like LD because that's how Doc always calls her. And Doc has this little thing where he has to kind of give someone a nickname so that he could remember their name, which is a good way to never forget. But I know her as LD, so that's why I couldn't remember her exact name. But yeah, she's like super dope. Gave a great talk about microphones there and broke a lot of things down that conceptions that people really don't understand, but she's a great representative for sure. Pun intended. I hope Tom liked that one. But like I said, it was just person after person, speaker after speaker, and just once again, I was talking about it for weeks and actually for months ahead of time and telling everyone, if you can make it, try your best. But it was even better than what I could have imagined. Another thing that was like super cool was that because I wasn't in such a rush to make the event like last year, I was able to take my time on the road trip up, and because of taking more of a like leisurely route to make it to Albany, New York, I only experienced 30 minutes of traffic for the entire 3 days of driving. So listen to what I'm telling you. I spent 5 minutes in traffic in Florida. I spent about 10 minutes in, I believe it was North or South Carolina. And then I spent about 15 minutes in Pennsylvania. In total, 30 minutes of traffic, which was not like the worst for all 3 days of driving. That's how kind of smooth sailings things have been going since, we departed for this, road trip. And I've been having a blast, man. I was able to do things that I had never done before because you were always in, such a rush. So I stopped at south of the border, which is a like kind of a Mexican inspired or themed amusement park that is like kind of like a more like a carnival, like not an amusement park, but they have like bumper cars and they have like some Ferris wheel and certain things like that, arcades, variety of different foods. And it's right there on the border or south of the border of North and South Carolina, so they call it south of the border. And I can't tell you how many times I've driven by that place and always be like, it would be nice to stop there, going all the way back from like 2000 when I first drove to New York and was up there helping my sister out. So like that was the first time that I'd ever heard of this place. And come 20 years after the fact, that now in 2022 is the time that I was able to take this like this road trip in a more casual manner, to say, like, I want to try to stop in as many locations as possible and like smell the roses on the way up. So I'm not sure if I mentioned it last week, but I was able to, stop in Georgia, right? And then when I was in Georgia, I woke up, and I, instead of trying to hit the road right away because I'm on a rush, I was able to just ask the locals, like, what's the best breakfast joint here? And then take my time to effectively go there, seek it out, have the breakfast. That, get to spend all of this time with Aiden. And this is to me, like, this is me living my dream. This is, I'm so grateful, I just am that I'm effectively doing what I said that I wanted to do, which was to become an editor where I can do my job from anywhere in the world. And that's effectively what I'm doing right now. I find myself in Plum Island, Massachusetts, which was like, I'm just so amazed because I'm still taking it in. Just driving from Albany, New York to this location here, how many states that I never thought that I would ever step foot into, I've just been able to just check off my list. And I'm like, I've been in this state and I've been in that state, and I've been taking photos as much as possible, trying to document this entire journey. But right now I haven't been able to actually like produce the content with it because I'm still in the midst of just capturing everything. I'm just taking advantage of the time that I have right now and capturing everything that I want to talk about. And then kind of like when I get home and just sit down, I'll be able to go through the footage and start putting all these pieces together. So I'm really excited for all of this, and I'm really excited to share it with all of you, because that's what I've been doing. I've been busting my butt on documenting as much as possible, all the locations and all the experiences. It's been a lot of fun. And let's go back to the comments here. All right, Albert's in the house saying hello. All right. Gretchen said, it was so much fun spending time with you and Aiden and the fam that was there. Absolutely. Okay, Robert Miller 78 has a question. Says, what is one question that people are not asking you that you wish they were asking you? That's kind of hard, because I'm kind of like an open book, so I usually just let anyone know or just speak about my current events. But as far as anything, like I said, I'm an open book and I'm willing to share anything, but just anything that anyone wants to know. So for that reason, I don't think that there's any question that I wish somebody would ask me, unless it's particular about a particular subject, right? But I think that all has to do with what is what's the situation, because it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about cameras, if you're talking about live stream, if you're talking about, it can be just pretty much anything. So I think I don't have a real question that I wish somebody would be asking me. But thanks for that question. It says, starts May 17, 2024 to celebrate my birthday. Our birthday, Gretchen. Remember, I'm a Taurus guy as well, on the 14th. So it's going to be like a birthday present for me as well. Says, Q, what's next for Mr. Camera Junkie? Well, like I said, what's next right now is immediately would be the people, Leap into Podcasting event that's coming up this week. That's what I'm getting set up in. And even before that, like I said, I'm going to be gaffing up and setting up Ecamm HQ to get the audio and video dialed in, to also help on all of the live streams and also on the Flow podcast. So I don't know if you guys are familiar. I don't know if I've mentioned it here before, but on top of me being the editor for Ecamm, I'm also the editor for Ecamm's The Flow podcast. And the Flow podcast is where Doc Rock hangs out weekly with Katie Fox, and they have a conversation about Ecamm and podcasting. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend that you do. It's part of the Ecamm channel and the Ecamm network channel. We actually do like all three steps of the podcasting because we're trying to educate in every aspect, and that's why we talk about video first with the podcasting. So they record the video, and Doc is usually in his home in Honolulu over there in Hawaii, and he's recording via the Ecamm program, linking up with Katie, who's over here in Massachusetts. So they connect and they record their live stream, right? While they do it live on YouTube, showing you the behind the scenes aspect of how they connect and, do their audio checkup and so to speak on the live stream. And once they got it dialed in, how they just take their quick 5-second pause so that they give me the time to just edit in the intro for the podcast, and then they start welcome to the Flow podcast and so on and so forth. And once they've completed it, they close it out, and then they go into a live Q&A for anyone who's participating who wants to learn more. Doc and Katie are there for a good extended amount of time, answering all the questions to help you get to the level that they're producing. That's when they send me the file. So we show you the entire production, of how the podcast is being recorded live, with maybe, let's say, certain mistakes or things that you need to say or correct yourselves over again. But they also show you that they don't stop what they're doing and they just continue with their flow. Once again, pun intended. And then it also demonstrates what I'm able to do as an editor for it, because we take and we chop off all of the beginning until they take that official break. If there are anything that need to be corrected, is what I do with the edit itself and clean it all up and then close it out, and then we produce it both as the audio podcast, because it is a podcast, but also the aspects of cleaning it up for the video podcast. So you get to see and hear all three phases of this production, which is how it's being recorded for video and audio in RAW, like just from the get-go, from the main, and you get to see that live and participate with your own questions in the Q&A. Then the following week, you will see the edited version of it, which is the middle section where Doc and Katie are just speaking and not answering, to the comments. Okay, I just got some messages here, so I'm not sure, but I think my moderators are taking care of it. So you're able to see the the edited portion of what I'm able to clean up when it comes to the video and audio, and add the beginning, the outro music, all the aspects of it. And that's an exact replica of the audio file that you're going to get as the audio podcast, where you can find in your favorite podcatcher. So like me, for instance, I listen to podcasts on my podcatcher, but I also listen to podcasts through video podcasts. So when it comes to video podcasting, like for example, one that I listen to every Sunday is the Bandrew Says podcast, which I believe I've spoken about here before. So on the Bandrew Says podcast, every Sunday he comes out with his video podcast, and I am listening to it, and I have it playing on the on my monitor, kind of like in the background, almost like if he was a person in the room. But it's just like, in all sincerity, like people used to watch Howard Stern, right? Like where you're just actually just watching the individual, like if you're hanging out with him and listening to his opinions and his thoughts, like if you were just hanging out at a bar having a beer, so to speak. So that's what Bandrew does every week. But even though it's a video podcast, it's not really required for you to be watching the video at all times. But the thing is, at the same time, if I were to hear something that I just like, it catches my attention, or that I want to see his facial expression or reaction, I will go right to it and rewind it to rewatch that portion with more intent, and more intensity, because I want to see exactly how, or what type of like jest he's putting into it. So that's the example that I can give when it comes to the video first podcasting, right? But you also have to know that at the same time you have to make it audibly good, right? So that even if you weren't watching it, you can just keep your headphones in while you're cooking dinner, or cleaning the bathroom, or doing anything of your household chores, and being able to listen to the video without having to watch it. So the same quality of audio production is the same thing that I would represent or put into the video, so that there's no difference in it. And with through the flow, we're able to show you all three phases of the podcast aspect. So, and I've learned a lot and have had a lot of fun cleaning up audio and working with that aspect. All right. Oh, he said there was a conference in the hotel next year, so they pushed everything to 2024, allowing more time to prepare. Oh, okay, and it says POV is actually hoping to do 2 virtual events in 2023. That's nice. He goes, and you're not in a bathroom. No, I am in the like family room, kind of like den. I'm actually facing the street right now, so like the water is across the street that way, and this is the back end of the house. You can see there's a lot of depth back there. Doc Rock is next to a fireplace right there, living room. This place is beautiful. It's really set up, and it looks great from every freaking angle, man. And this is just basic because in all sincerity, like this is where I had just set up to do the work, and getting here today, like past 9 o'clock, just about 9 o'clock. And then not everything that I had here working correctly was like, all right, time to get things going, And it was literally like within the last 15 minutes where I was like, okay, everything's set up. Actually, not even. The last 15 minutes was when I was able to set up the correct time for the live stream. And then within the last 10 minutes, I was like, okay, we have everything where it should be, ready to rock and roll. Besides that, by the hairs on my chinny chin chin. All right. It says cold for the Florida and the Hawaii boys. Absolutely. No, but it actually dipped into the 50s, and that was without the wind chill, and we're right next to the water. Like tonight is not as cold as it was last night. Last night was like, whoa. Last night was like when I was taking Aiden out of the car, a breeze shot up my leg through my pants, and whoa. That was some cold. That was some cold. And the locals are just laughing at us because we're over here like shivering, and they're like, man, just come back in February to see some cold. I'm like, says in Texas it's called free air conditioning. Yeah, this is a little bit more, but trust me, like it does feel good outside tonight. Yesterday was something different. Q, was the internet connection that you're using, how fast in the Airbnb is, if that's what you are using? And yes, and believe it or not, right now this is wireless internet, but it is giving like 400 megabytes down and 40 to 45 megabytes up. And that's the connection that we have here, even at this location of the house. So that's what we're dealing with, and that's what's allowing me to produce and, stream this live. But yes, that's the connection that we're getting at the Air B&B tonight. This is in Washington. That's hiking weather. See? Yeah, that's like, oh, let's go out and get a tan. Says, I was about to say there was no B&H meetup time. No, there wasn't. There wasn't actually any time for that meetup with all the other things that were being, done. But as well, that's where we did the axe throwing as the meetup and not the meetup at the B&H. And we also did it kind of like the last day instead of the first day, because you give the ability for people who are showing up late to still stick around and hang out for the last day to make that event. Because when they did it at the beginning, even me, I missed kind of like last year's Ecamm event that happened the first night because I was late. I didn't make it. Says in Alaska it's a sunbath. It's sunbathing. Says here in the San Francisco area we call that temperature winter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, and it's not that. It's knowing that if it was just 51 degrees, that's cool, because I've handled it with stagnant air when I was in New York years ago. Like it got cold, but there was no wind, so it was okay. But 51 degrees with the wind that was howling yesterday, what? That was just a whole nother thing. That was, like I said, that was really cold because of it. Just wind chill factor, for those who understand that. It's like hopping into a freezer comparative to a refrigerator, right? Like a refrigerator, it'll probably be cold. In a freezer, you will not survive. And that's the difference of cold air and circulating cold air. And last night it was circulating all the way into my pants. Okay. Oh, Imad, how are you doing, sir? Thank you for stopping by on the live stream. He's saying nice to see you. And how's Aiden? Aiden is upstairs. He's doing great. Probably from like maybe the last time that you saw him. He's definitely gotten a growth spurt. But Aiden is sleeping right now. He's like all pooped out. Yeah, he's doing great. He's been so well behaved. He's just been like amazing this entire trip. No Aiden-tude, like I always say, no Aiden-tude on this trip. It was just been really, really well. But like I said, I also think it was because I was able to also cater a little bit better to him, because I was able to plan out a lot of the things, and I know what would be comfortable or uncomfortable for him. So for that reason, I think that I've been doing a pretty good job, and because of it, he hasn't really been affected by any of the shifts. It was just like we hung out in the cars, we took our time, and then when we got here, he's been amazing ever since we got here. So yeah, no complaints. Super happy with my little baby boy. Gretchen, that is so beautiful. She says, my blessing bucket was filled with Aiden and you. That means so much. You guys are amazing. Hey, Gigi. How you doing? I got your message, and I'll be working on that for tomorrow, just so you know. Everything going on, I knew I was going to do the live stream. That's why I had to say for tomorrow. But I'll be sending it out as soon as it's ready. Sammy's saying that is amazing. Oh, and by the way, Gigi, thank you for stopping by, hanging out. You are freaking amazing. I have to put this up here because this family member here was able to just open her doors and invite us to just hang out in her home. It was a bunch of us. Let me see how many. I would say at least like 8, maybe 9 of us hung out, and she was also able to give a place to stay for Miss India Delgado, which was even thinking that she wasn't going to go to the event. And if she wouldn't have shown up, then there would have been some bloodshed because we would have been fighting. But Gigi was so awesome to actually open her doors and say, stay with me just so that you can make it to the event. And with that, prevented, the war between me and Miss Delgado. You guys know I'm just playing, but still, it was like, she made it happen. And on top of that, like I said, she opened the doors. We hung out. We had wine. We just had a really good time just hanging out there. Aiden and I were just chilling on her floor with India hanging out and Dr. Elo on the side. Such an amazing event. Super, super cool. Super, super cool. And that was such a really cool night for all of us, and I can't thank Gigi enough for making that happen. On top of that, she's such a gracious and amazing host for letting us, like kind of taking all of us under her wing last year and this year included, of making sure that everything, like in her hometown, including the entire axe throwing event, was pretty much taken care of by Gigi. So, big ups to Gigi. She's amazing. And if you guys are thinking about looking into copywriting and might need a lawyer, I'll definitely tell you to also check out her channel, because she is a lawyer and she knows what she's doing, and she's also a content creator. So it's kind of really hard to find lawyers that do what you do and know that type of law. So if you're thinking about that or might need help with it, go check her out. Highly recommend. Plus, she's family. The best kind, right? So sounds like fun, amazing shoot put together and used. Yeah. Sammy says hi, Doc. Oh, Doc is in the chat. So I'm over here kind of slacking, doing the Diana Gladney. All right, we got Elicio Primo. What you doing, sir? We live. How you doing, bro? I want to say my... Okay, I'm going to leave that one there. Okay, you see, this is what I love about this community, how everyone's hanging out together. Everybody's saying what's up and have their own conversations. Okay, so let's see. Says, are you live while staying in an Airbnb and attending People of Video? That's basically kind of what happened, except People of Video is already done. So we left Albany, New York, and now we're over here in Plum Island by the Ecamm headquarters, and we're just working it out, hanging out, and working the leap into podcasting, which, like I said, that was coming up. That's the next event. He says, as always, it was great seeing you and seeing how much Aiden has grown. Yes, because he has grown. Okay. It says, great to see you're living your dream. All the best, bro. Thank you, Mod. I appreciate it, sir. Things that I could have never imagined yet. They're just happening. Law is in the house saying hello to all. How are you doing, bro? All right, Albert has a question. Says, Lewis, what articulating arms you recommend mid heavy duty? I've been using a brand called Toazo, Toazo, but they're kind of like all the same. There is one thing that I would tell you to look for, which is if you see the bolt on the backside, usually not the best, but when it comes to the articulating arms, I would tell you, do not buy the cheapest ones, because they're just like, they will end up crapping out on you. If you invest just a little bit more, and you don't have to buy like the high end ones, because I'm telling you from my own personal experience, this brand Toazo comes with like a clamp and some other accessories that allow you to connect it to your computer. To your camera, excuse me. Ooh. Once again, Toazo. They've been reliable, and they run around $20 to $22. Sometimes you can get them on sale for like 16 or 18. We usually pick them up on Amazon just so that they ship them to me. And whenever I need something else articulated, that's what I use. And right now, I have this little makeshift tripod that's kind of holding all of the weight, and then another one that's clamping to my case here to kind of be like the steady force. So, like I said, I'll take a photo of this jankiness so that you can see exactly how I've hooked up these articulating arms to hold the camera exactly where I want it for tonight. And there's Dr. Elo. I was just talking about you, bro. Amazing to hang out with you, GG's, and the entire event. So much fun. See, everybody's saying hello to everyone. This is so freaking amazing. You guys are dope. All right. Gretchen saying 51 degrees. You're making me laugh. You probably say like that is nothing. All right. She says it was truly her pleasure. Thank you so much. You're so awesome. All right. So Sammy's saying something's funny. Said, did you get home safe? He's asking Dr. Elo. Melanie is here. Hi, Melanie. How are you? Says, sorry I missed POV. So much FOMO. Well, we did miss you, right? Anyone who couldn't make it, it's unfortunate, but guess what? We're still hanging out, and there's always gonna be a next one. But you know me, I'll like upgrade your skills and make the most of your every day. So you have to try to take advantage of the time, because you never know. You know, like the state of the world could change, and then certain things might not be available in the future. We've kind of all been aware of that for the last couple of years, and things are turning around now. But because of that, it's just another indicator to make them wait. But not to cry over spilled milk. It is over, but at least we get to hang out every week on the Camera Junkie live stream, because it is 95 consecutive weeks, and next week will be 96, and that just be 1 month away from episode 100, which is like another milestone that I just, going close to 2 years ago, would have never thought. But I digress. So, all right. Hey, Michael. Michael is another person that was able to meet there. Super cool individual, and of course part of the Camera Junkie crew. But these are like the types of friendships and relationships that I mean, that never in a million years could you establish the type of communication and friendship that you can at these events. And to come to find out that Michael is not that far off from Miami. He lives in Orlando. So on top of being able to make an event and be part of the Camera Junkie crew, I definitely see us or myself being able to just go over to Orlando and just maybe get some food together, and maybe just catch up, because it's so close. Literally just 3-hour drive is something that could be done, and I can drive home within the same day. And kind of these friendships would never have been established if not for events like this. So even if it's not People of Video, if it's another event that you have the ability to go to, I highly recommend it. I'm going to try to do my best to make as many of these types of events as possible, because these are the types of events that I think everyone should go to. You're finding a group of people who are like-minded and are looking for the same types of goals that you are, and everyone is out for your best interest. And that's where it's such a game changer, because they literally are out for your best interest. They're looking to say, hey, not only have I done this, but you can do this too, and let me show you how. So many amazing speakers like Judy showing you to do so many. Let me clarify. Judy Fox showing you to do so many things with LinkedIn. Oh, and Aiden just woke up, way upstairs, making his Okay, it looks like I had a minor glitch there. It said I had a stream error right when I was talking about Aiden. So I don't know if you heard that, but Aiden is awake. And I was looking at the time because we are past an hour. So I'm going to look to see if there's any more questions. And then I'm going to proceed with my run of show to try to close this out as soon as possible. Okay, so yeah, something happened even with the comments. They kind of got reset here. So let me just continue because I was way past all of these comments. Yep. Over here. Yeah, because I was talking about Michael. That's more or less where we're at. We have John saying hello as well. So cool to have everyone here. Okay. Now that we're kind of at the bottom, and I believe I am still live, even though there should be a small glitch. I will remind you, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit that like button. It goes a long way. And with that being said, tonight I have to talk about Cities Gaw, channels that I think you should go and watch. And tonight's Cities Gaw is... Oh, wait. I need to select the scene, which is that one. If my keyboard works. There we go. Cities Gaw. Boom. Channels that I think you should go watch. And this one is Mark Bennett's Camera Crisis. This is someone that I've also met live stream. That this is one of my more favorite newer channels. He is a professional comedian turned YouTuber and camera enthusiast. Sounds like familiar, but he's really taken his skills of a stand-up comedian and applied it really well to his YouTube channel, and he has a lot of fun with it. But with it, he's grown quite an audience pretty fast. I think he's creeping up on 20,000 subscribers, but he's already been reached out to, by companies like Siriu, and like Sony has been able to even send him some lenses, things to test out. And his channel is growing very well, but more than anything, is a very entertaining channel when it comes to the content, because he is a legit professional comedian and using those skills to write funny jokes about the cameras, like the one that we're seeing here, like I like cameras. He's very expressive with his facial expressions, as you can see, like by his thumbnails, that is very jovial but also educational. So if you haven't checked him out, I highly recommend that you go check out Mark Bennett's Camera Crisis and the channels that I think you should go and watch. And for those of you who don't know, I have a Discord that I've been working on, and it's not 100%. It's kind of like under construction. Oh, that's not it. That's it. So let's take it off. It's a bit under construction, but through there are channels like Cities Gaw that have all of the channels that I've recommended for this series there, so that if you've missed one out, or you like kind of want to figure out who else has been on this list, you can go there to check that out, and check out some channels that I highly recommend, channels that I watch myself, from creators that I admire, whether it's like an entertainment value or an educational one, and in some cases both. So definitely check out Mark. I find him hilarious. He's another Canadian YouTuber. Well, it looks like Canadians have a special YouTube superpower, because they're constantly in cold weather, so they're used to being in their homes, so they're kind of more technologically advanced. I think that's part of it, but that Canadians are a lot like super nice people. But this guy's funny on top of that, and I highly recommend you check him out. So with that being said, let me see what we have here, because we'll be closing out tonight, and just throwing it out there right now. Thank you for taking the time and spending it here with me, time being our most precious commodity. So I have to thank you once again, because the Camera Junkie live stream is my favorite place to be. I repeat it all the time. 95 consecutive weeks. Kind of shows you how much I'm having fun doing this, and this is kind of the highlight of my week in and week out. I get to hang out with such an amazing community and share my thoughts, ideas, and passion for all things cameras, video, audio, and solo production. So thank you. All right. Okay, Paul said I buffered, but I'm back. Mine actually gave me an error, so that's good thing that it was kind of just buffering for you guys. But thank you for that information. Says I love Mark Bennett, iced tea also. Yeah, and apple juice. He's always drinking his apple juice. Okay, so Melanie was mentioning, I'm guessing, a Florida meetup. That does sound cool, because I believe that's right. Melanie is kind of close to that Orlando area as well. So yeah, we're going to have to start putting that together, to see how many of the Camera Junkie crew are within the state of Florida and put it together so that we could all meet up. And if it's, if it's something like Orlando, which is kind of central Florida, right? That's why they call it Central Florida. But, in the center, putting it there to make it as easy as possible. I'm definitely willing to drive, 3 hours up state just to go to a meetup. Absolutely, especially when it's to meet the crew. Definitely gonna see what we can do about hanging out. Yep, Dr. Elo saying big shout out to Doc, who killed it on the stage of POV. Absolutely. Not only that, but LGL showed up, man. Yeah, we had POV, but LGL, Doc Rock, and Ecamm, the Ecamm fam, they showed up. We had Keely, we have Gigi, Doc Rock as speakers at this event. This is hella dope. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so amazing how this community has grown and is blossoming, that not only are they producing within their fields, but they're actually becoming speakers at these events to once again share their knowledge and passion of what they're doing with this community, because everyone's looking to make everyone better. That's what this is about. A rising tide raises all ships together. So there you go. All right. Says we should definitely do Orlando. That's an easy day trip for me too. All right, then we're definitely gonna talk about it. I think I'm gonna put something, a channel together in the Discord to see if we can coordinate in there. I would definitely thank you, Paul, for putting that link there to the Discord. You can check it out and send me your messages through it. Thank you, as always, for taking the time and hanging out with me. This is another one in the books, 95. That's a wrap, guys. I can't wait for next week's episode. And with that being said, thank you for hanging out. Take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time, be safe and have a great, great week. Talk to you.